Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up? It's your girl V-Henny, man. You already know the vibes. Welcome to the Artistry, where we talk shit about music, entertainment, and the everyday struggles. And you know how we do, man. We always have a dope guest in the building. We have singer-songwriter, content creator. She raps CT. Make some noise for NovaBigSteppa. Bum, 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 bum. I don't have the budget. So
Yo, that intro was clean, though.
Thank you. I worked really hard on that intro.
Nah, I could tell. That was smooth. Nah, thank you for having me, though.
Thank you for being here, man. I want to say, I'm grateful that you're here. You took the time. I know you're a busy person, so we're gonna get to a lot of things. Before anything, I want to say congratulations to you. We have some. This is sparkling water, guys. You understand? Don't be thinking that's cerveza or some beer. But congratulations on everything you have accomplished.
Thank you.
I know obstacles are always in the way whenever you're chasing your goals and you're doing it. So this is for you right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that for real.
Yeah, definitely.
Likewise, because you in the same kind of industry.
Thank you. You started taking it seriously in 2019.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to know, because people, taking it serious, that's a big step. And I say this because I used to be an artist, so I know what it is when you're taking it as a hobby and then you're making those serious, you're taking that serious step. So what inspired you to make that step and be like, I want to be this recording artist?
Really, my fiance, Stephanie.
Okay.
So I always sang and stuff like that, and the goal was to always be a musician.
Okay.
But the legwork wasn't there. I wasn't worried. I was like, yo, I'm gonna be a singer, I'm gonna be an artist, and everybody's like, all right, that's cool, but where's the music?
Right.
But it's just I always just was prophesying and saying it. But it wasn't until, like you said, 2019 that I kind of had a realization. I was playing a whole bunch of Fortnite. I was in the crib, just going to my job and coming back home, and just I wasn't focused on the music at all.
Right. And
I kind of got comfortable. It's actually kind of scary to think about how comfortable I got. I had graduated college, got a job that was paying me and I was like, yo, man, I'm straight.
You was content.
I was content, and it's a scary place to be. And
right.
so, she used to be hinting at stuff yo, if you want to be a gamer, I'm gonna support that too. But you told me you want to do the music, so what we doing?
Right.
And it was just one day, it just kind of just was clicking, because she's like, yo, with more oomph in her voice this time, yo, what are we doing? Do you still want to do this or not? Because if not, then we just don't do it. But I need to know where your head is at. And I'm like, damn, it's it was an epiphany I had in that moment. I'm like, damn, I do want to do music.
Okay.
I got to start working. And then from that point, that's when I dropped Nova Came the EP. Shortly after that, I started I just locked in and started creating. And yeah, that's really what inspired me to get back into it.
You know what's dope about that is that people don't realize the support you have from your wife, right? One of the hardest things when becoming a musician, or just when you're taking a goal serious, is the support system. Oh, yeah. Either yes or no.
Yeah.
It's black and white. Literally, it is. It's either you
is.
want this or you don't. Everything else is an excuse.
Yes.
And you made that decision. And I know in this transition from 2019, making it serious, I'm sure there was many discouragement within this process. Did you get discouraged?
Not really to the point where I was this isn't for me, because
okay.
I've been saying this is what I wanted to do since I was young, and I've always been a real delusional person.
Okay.
Whatever it is that I say I want to do, no matter how crazy it seems, I always knew that it was gonna happen somehow. I just didn't know how. But there's obviously been times where it's been tested, my faith in how quickly it can happen, I guess you could say.
Gotcha.
There's been times I'm trying to think of a exact time when I think it was really the support that I wasn't getting, that I think that I was kind of focusing on that too much at one point.
Okay.
And I think that can really mess with an artist to the point where it's really not important to focus on the support you're not getting, because I got a lot of support when I first dropped my first tape, so
right.
that was really good, because usually when you put something out, it's nobody's listening. It's
crickets.
Damn, but I got a lot of love on it. That's so dope. I don't think I ever really had a point where I was discouraged, really to the point where I'm yo, this isn't working.
Got you. That's a beautiful thing that you got the support.
Yeah.
You understand? Again, so was it that you got the support because you did a proper rollout? Because again, as a new artist, sometimes you don't know the steps, what it is to have the marketing behind you, the promotions. a lot of artists think like it's just, this is an easy task.
Yeah.
It's easy to be an artist, you know, and it's like, it is, like, if you want to have it for, if this is for fun, but
Yeah.
it's not if you want to make this a profession.
Correct.
So, like, how was your steps when you first dropped that EP that you was able to get that support?
At the time, I didn't really have that many followers, like nothing really. Like I didn't even have a proper rollout. It was just me and her in the house.
Okay.
And I really didn't have anything structured. Like still to this day, I don't have like a super structured rollout plan. Like, and you know, we can obviously get into that when it comes to other songs, but with the first tape, it was God, I feel like. Because I feel like this is my calling, and I think that he was like, let me make this work so you can see like that this is what you're supposed to be doing. Because I was getting a lot of love, not from the people I wanted it from, you know what I mean? Not from the closest people to me, but I was getting it from, you know, a bunch of people that didn't know me. Right. So it was good for me, honestly.
Did you used to write beforehand? Because you said, obviously, you had fun and stuff like that, but it was just, so you've written songs, it was just, have you ever released, now where you're at now, did you ever release anything old? Like,
yeah, I had a song that I had on YouTube. I just had him take it down because it was cringy. Okay. But yeah, I had something.
What song was that?
It was some rapping, and I was talking about money and saying that I'm getting to the bag, and I really was broke at the time, and it was just some corny stuff. Like it wasn't. It was super corny. But yeah, I was writing songs and stuff back then. Okay. I wasn't really releasing too much. Like I just kind of had stuff in the chamber, but I was doing a lot of freestyles on my page, like a lot of like going off of old school beats, and like, that's really how I kind of like got my name up before dropping the tape 2, is because I started doing that first.
Gotcha.
So I just started like, you know, remixing, like doing like big pun beats and Quiet Storm, and you know, like the old school, like just going over those beats and putting my own twist to it, and that's really kind of like where I started.
Speaking of names, yo, word on the street is people pressed you?
Not that they pressed me like in person, like, yo, what's up, you a big stepper. It's more like on the internet, like cornballs, like, yo, you big stepper, what you mean big stepper, what you doing, how you get that name, like people that's like,
that's weird.
I guess I don't know if they're associated with what they got going on, but like that kind of press, not like in my face pressing me, but asking me questions like, yo, you big stepper, like how so, like type what you do for that name. I'm like, man, I'm just saying everything I do big. Like there's so many words with we got there and there. Like you can't tell me I can't have another meaning for something. Like that's not how I meant it though. So you must have came across that interview.
I did, and that's why I was like, yo, because I found that to be weird energy, and I was just wondering, like, I thought it was in person though.
Nah.
So I would for me, I'm like, nah, that's not.
I feel like that might have seen. I didn't want people to think that either. When I seen it, I'm like, what if people think that was, nah, nobody ain't never pressed me.
Okay.
In person, no.
Do you feel like the internet approached you with that due to the fact of you being an openly gay woman?
Yeah, but men are super insecure sometimes when they see like a woman artist that like other women are attracted to. Like I think it's kind of like a jealousy that sparks inside of them sometimes. So I'm gonna say because they just get insecure. Like they don't like it. They don't like. They see a female that's like really spitting for real, and I think that they get a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. So I'm gonna say I'm not in their head. Okay. So I can't tell you why, but I think it probably definitely stemmed from there. Because if I was a guy, they would have never been like, yo, why you big step or what? They would have just let it rock. You know what I mean? I
know like our lifestyle is accepted. You know. However, you know, again, you have closed-minded people. You know, and with social media, with real life situations, do you feel that you are accepted for who you are and what you stand for? Down to the image, down to your character, your personality.
I think by a lot of people, yeah. Like, I mean, obviously there's going to be those people who don't accept it for their own personal reasons. Okay. But, like, I feel like I get so much love that people kind of look past my sexual preference, which I think people should do anyway, because I always thought it was a really, really, really weird idea that people are uncomfortable about someone because of what they do in the bedroom. Right. Because when you think about it, the only thing that really, like, I guess would make you gay is that what you're doing in the bedroom. So it's like, why are you thinking about what I'm doing in the bed when I'm like here, fully clothed, chilling? Like, it's weird. So I think I do feel accepted, because I think a lot of things are perspective, and so I try not to like go into life looking like I'm not gonna be accepted for certain things. Okay. So like I don't expect to get hate from it, so I really don't, like, I can't say I don't get it, because sometimes, you know, people got the gay comments and stuff like that, but
And I'm not even speaking about that, right? I mean that too, but I'm also speaking about like the music industry.
Oh, I thought you meant like
no, and it's fine that you say
Oh.
that. That's totally fine because that's true. That too. That I wanted to know that, but I also want to know about the music industry as well because as a woman, rapper slash singer, songwriter, this industry, especially our genre in a sense.
Yeah.
And I know you don't like to put yourself in a box, but at the end of the day, when it comes to women who do music, they have this whole image that they want to see from a woman. Sex sells in a cell, cell. In a way, should I say? But that's all. So I want to know, like, have you encountered anything within that in the industry as well, or no?
No, because and you're saying in the industry.
I'm talking about industry music, yeah.
I haven't
or labels or anything like that. Like,
I've had conversations with labels, but we haven't like took it to that next step.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that if anybody was gonna try anything, like it'd be after that next step. You know what I'm saying? Like when you sign the papers, it's like, all right, cool. Can you like put a dress on? So that hasn't been. First of all, like that can't happen. Like because I'm so like grounded in who I am.
Right.
At this point in my life, it's like you got to take me as I am. So it's like I haven't came across that.
Okay, and you're comfortable in your skin. I feel like sometimes this industry can be weird. That's why I'm asking all this.
Sure.
I see a lot of women in the industry. The women right now are dominating the hip hop world, but yet they still sex sells. So they want to see certain things, and stuff like that.
So I've seen like so many scenarios where I think women sometimes they're either letting someone get in their head or they're overthinking and they're not confident enough in who they are. Because like I've seen a couple like artists that are like I think personally super dope and they don't have to take their clothes off. Like their music is lit, like who they are as a person is lit most importantly. And I just think sometimes maybe it's pressure. I don't know, maybe they get in their head or maybe they like to dress that way. I don't know what it is, but I don't think sex always sells. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because I feel like it's an unpopular opinion. And what I mean is like I've seen a lot of women who maybe they'll take their clothes off and then they'll get so many likes on Instagram, but it's not translating to the music. So is it really selling? You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Like, is it really like, are people really like, oh my, she looks so good, let me go buy her album right now?
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I think like it sells certain things, but I don't really think it really sells the music too much.
Okay.
I think it's like so many other factors that come into it. Like, yeah, you gotta have sex appeal, but that comes from within.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Not all, but a lot of majority wants. They it's not they need it, but they want the relevancy. When I say sex sells, it's because it sells some sort of image.
Yeah.
But does it sell the content? Does it sell the music? It all depends who it is, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you already made it, it can. But if you are still up and coming, it's gonna be a transition for your audience to want to get into your music when they're looking at you in this other light. Especially like the hip hop R&B where it's going right now with women right now are taking over. But I've seen a lot of women change their image, and it more power to you. But you, like you said, it comes from within. And I think that's dope that you have that mindset. And continue having that mindset, because the more you keep going, you already know the level up is like you got to stay, you got to stay relevant. Do you feel that pressure, especially the fact that you are an influencer, you are a recording artist with a high following? So like, do you feel like you have a pressure to maintain the authenticity in a sense, the relevancy of who you are?
The relevancy, authenticity, not really, because like, like that's, I'm always being me, but the relevancy, so I used to do this thing where like I would get a buzz with the music or like, anything that I'm posting on my page, and then I just fall back in the cut and just not post for mad long.
Gotcha.
So like I didn't feel no pressure for a long time, but like now I'm not gonna say it's pressure. I'm just aware that I need to be seen for people to, they're gonna obviously check for me, my core people. Like if let's say I fell off the face of the earth for a couple months, like my core people gonna be like, oh, where's she at? But I do understand like how important it is for me to be seen over and over and over again. So like it just gives people more opportunities to like realize like, yo, I like her, you know what I'm saying? Because if I'm posting once and then I'm never posting again, it's like, what if they didn't like that post, like or that song? Like maybe if you post again, just keep going. So now I'm in a space where like I understand the importance of relevancy. It's not, I guess I do sometimes feel the pressure to keep the content up, but because like I said, now it's like I gotta like stay on it now that it's rolling.
Yeah, because you're in a space right now. You quit your job, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How long have you been towards this journey right now of being an entrepreneur?
I want to say 2 years. It just made 2 years the end of
Okay.
last year. 2 years,
Okay.
yeah.
So I feel like the first year is by far one of the hardest.
Oh, yeah.
So how was that transition for you?
It was tough. It was like, not that it was, it's not that it was tough, but I was Ubering. So it's like,
Okay.
I had quit that, like my physical job that I was going into, and I started like, you know, when you Uber, you're an independent contractor. So I started driving people around for some time. So it's like I was still working in a sense because I was Ubering.
But you're still on your own schedule.
On my own schedule.
Right.
Which, too, is challenging, too, because you realize, like, a lot of people want to be their own boss until that alarm clock goes off in the morning and you have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you got a job and they could fire you, you get your ass up. But when there's no one there to fire you, like, you be slacking a little bit. But, it was, you know what I mean? My kneecaps was hurting from driving around a lot. So it was a little bit, it was tough. But I just had like a real positive outlook on it because I knew it could be worse because I was kind of like miserable at my job.
Right.
When I left, I just was in a more positive headspace because I'm like, it could be worse. So I looked, it was how I was looking at it. Like, it was smooth. And then, you know, the music started, it's paying me now. So
absolutely, because you're going. What have you learned so far within the route of you becoming an entrepreneur?
Like, what have I learned? Like,
within yourself, is it consistency, discipline?
Or like, what's the most important things? Yeah, discipline. Oh yeah. And you know, we're all gonna lack it sometimes.
Right.
And that's you. I feel like you got to be disciplined with everything you do in life.
Yeah.
Because it's with everything. It's the small things too, like cleaning your room. It starts there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you're young, it's like you got to get the discipline to do that. Then the discipline to get up every day and like at least think about what it is that you're gonna do. At least plan it, because it's not every day that you're gonna be like super locked in and super like inspired. But I guess the discipline really kicks in when you're not inspired and you gotta make it happen anyway, or when you gotta do the things that you don't want to do. Like I had to learn how to record myself because I didn't have the money for. I was about to quit my job and I knew that, and I didn't have the money for studio sessions. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to afford it, so I had no choice but to go and buy the equipment and teach myself off of YouTube how to record.
Right.
So those parts you got to be disciplined because it's not fun learning.
Right.
It's like I basically had to go to school again.
Right.
So like discipline definitely is the most important thing when it comes to entrepreneurship, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's hard. It's hard to be disciplined.
Of course.
Yeah, it is definitely hard. Now, do
Not
you make
yet.
beats?
No, not
but
yet.
Is that something you want to learn?
I do. I'm so hands on. I want to do everything. I be
Okay.
doing too much.
Okay.
I be doing too much. I want to. I haven't. When I lock in, I lock in. So it's like when I decide to do that, I know I'm going to be so focused that I'm going to like not be able to do everything else. So I haven't made the time for that yet.
Gotcha.
But that is something I do want to learn.
So let me ask you this, right? Because knowing, like, listening to your process, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had mentioned how you took down an old song recently because it was cringy, right?
Yeah.
You know, but all right. So listening to your old music to where you're at now, where do you see your growth? What is it?
I feel like the biggest thing is like my vocabulary.
Okay.
I've always had like I don't want to say an extensive vocabulary, but like I know some words. You know what I mean? But like in my songs, like my tape that I released in 2019, like when I be listening back to some of the songs, they still hit. Like they still fire. But like me personally looking back at it, I'm like, yo, like I was kind of cursing a lot. Like I could have replaced those words for some other stuff. So I like to see the growth in terms of like my vocabulary in the songs. I feel like my structuring got better. Like I learned how to structure a song a little bit better.
Okay.
A lot bit better. It's like night and day. I feel like when I listen to my old music now, like I feel like it's old fire still, except that one song I told you I took down. But I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling myself now, so I'm like more in a space. I'm in a super confident space, so I'm able to like make music from those emotions. And two, like with Rock the World, it's super, like it's nothing like I've ever released before. Like this particular record was meant, like I went into the studio with the mindset that I'm gonna lift people out of dark times with this song. Like it wasn't about me for the first time, you know. And I feel like that's one of the things that's been shifting too, is that like I was able to go to the studio and say, all right, I'm not thinking about how this is gonna blow up and I'm gonna be doing this and me. It's more like okay, people are gonna hear this and it's gonna change their life. So like I never really thought about that stuff, with my songs that I've been releasing.
How was the process for that, for Rock the World?
So
creatively writing all that.
Yeah, I went in the studio and I found the beat and I went in the studio and I'm like, yo, like this makes me feel something. Like just the beat alone made me feel something. So I'm like, something's telling me like this just needs to have feeling to it. And then like usually like when I love a beat, I get the first couple sentences like immediately, first 5 minutes. Like that's how I know if I'm gonna really rock with the beat or not. And it just came to me like, I don't want to waste my life. And I'm like, yo, this is deep. And for the first time, I actually like, I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual.
Right.
And so I prayed on it and I was like, God, like, come into this studio session with me and help me say the right things that I need to say this time around, right, so that it can lift people up. So that's really what that process was. And I previewed it. And at the time, my page was like super slowing down, like my TikTok and stuff like that. Like the numbers were super decent. I'm like, I'm gonna just keep going anyway. And when I previewed this song, all I had done was the part that I previewed. I had the hook and the first 2 lines of the first verse. That was it. The rest was just instrumental. And I previewed it. And again, I prayed on it. I'm like, God, I know people need to hear this. I know it. So, if I'm right about what I'm saying, let it get out to the people.
Right. And
that's exactly what it did. And it went viral. And so I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna drop it. So when you spoke about rollout plans, there was no plan. Like that was like, God was like, now people need this. And I'm like, all right. I didn't care because I thought about it. I'm like, yo, if I don't put it out in a certain time, then Spotify, I can't get it on a certain playlist and certain this and that. I was like, you know what? I don't care. People need it because so many people were like, I need this song, like right now. And so at that point, I went into the studio and I finished it and I put it out. Like, it was so quick. Right. Maybe within like a week.
It's a dope track.
It's doing better than anything I've ever dropped, including Bend Your Back.
I think, again, what makes it dope is the fact that a lot of people can relate to it. This is bigger than you.
It is.
When did you start realizing this is bigger than me?
I always knew it was bigger than me, and I always had Stephanie in my ear telling me it was bigger than me, but I didn't really want to hear it because I'm like, I want to make fun music. Like, right. I didn't want to, not that Rock the World isn't fun, but it's not like Bend Your Back. You know what I mean? Right. And so for so long, I've been fighting with that, but my spirit always told me, like, you have a very powerful voice, and you need to sprinkle in there, even if it's not every song, but you need to put something with some real substance in it for the people. And I dropped Mileage, and Mileage was also,
it's another powerful
song. So I had that record, and then
but this one right now is catching more than Mileage, you would say?
Mileage,
because Mileage is hard too.
Mileage is hard, and Mileage again was another one of those ones that I posted up a clip of me singing it, and it went viral, and then people went back to it because I had already dropped it, and it didn't really like do too well in the first couple months, but that's because I wasn't really like promoting it like that. And then when I put that post up and it went, everybody was like, yo, this song, I needed this saved me. And I'm just like, when I seen that, I'm like, okay, that kind of gave me the push, to be honest. Mileage, seeing like that it worked and how many people it affected, I'm like, okay, this is so much bigger than me, like what you said. And Steph always was like, yo, like, I know you're like making these love songs and stuff, but like, people would like to heal if you can, sometimes she'd been telling me, I was just like, I'm like, nah, because my music makes them feel good. They happy, they dancing. She's like, yeah, but it's whenever you're ready, it's bigger than that. And I know God's got a bigger purpose for you, but take your time. And so, yeah, that's when, Rock the World was born.
Would you say this song, or if it's not this one, what song took you out of your comfort zone?
Okay, Rock the World for sure, because it's like everything we just spoke about. But I'm going to say Bend Your Back kind of took me out of my comfort zone too when I made it, because I made that song with intentions. I'm like, because the hook is super catchy. It's like over and over, bend ya. And usually I don't repeat things that much in my songs. Like I like to like tell a story and also like not be redundant. Right. So that took me out of my comfort zone because it's like kind of a redundant song, but like a good redundant. It's not annoying, but it's like repetitive. But so that took me out of my comfort zone at first when I made Bend Your Back.
Really?
Yeah, because it was new for me. But
what's next with when it comes to your music? Because I know you released Rock the World. Like, are you gonna plan on putting that on rotation, or are you gonna continue with singles, like what, or EP? Like what are you planning on doing with musically?
I was thinking about doing an EP. I've been contemplating it. I have like some stuff lined up that I could like put together for an EP that's like gonna be it would make sense.
Okay.
But I kind of like the single game because
Right.
me personally, I like to feel like all of my songs are the one. Like I said,
Gotcha.
I'm
That's your
delusional
baby.
like that.
That's
Yeah,
your
every song I
baby.
put out, I feel like this is the one.
Okay.
So for me, when it comes to making a tape, I feel like it's just the songs don't get their own attention.
Okay. Okay.
And so I'm probably gonna do the single game
Okay.
for now, and then when I do finally do an album, because I haven't done an official album yet.
Okay.
I've Cruise Control says album, but it's really a mixtape.
Right. Right. Right.
Because they don't let you put in mixtape. But when I do, I want it to be like my story, because like everything about just me just being completely transparent,
Right.
kind of thing. So, but right now I'm just rocking with the
And
single.
like when you have a parent and they got like 4 or 5 kids and you be like, yo, which one's your favorite? And you're like, they're like,
I can't pick one.
Nah, but that's what's up though. I mean, I think single game is definitely a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you say this a lot in your videos. Smart, work smart, not harder. You understand? Like working smart, especially in the music industry, because everybody and their mother, let's keep it a stack, everybody and their mother does music.
Yeah, everybody and their mother.
Everybody and their mother, their grandmother, you understand? Like they're doing music.
The whole family, facts.
So it's like you have to work smart because, again, we're in an industry where it's oversaturated.
Yeah.
What I'm loving about your sound is that you have something,
Thank you.
and you just got to continue pushing. So when did you start realizing, oh, shit, this is real?
Like it's like real as in like
this
it's
is real.
moving.
Like this is moving. Like, yo.
Bend Your Back when
Bend
I
Your
dropped.
Back?
Oh yeah. Like
Okay.
it like I'm looking at the streams move up every day, like I'm calculating everything, and like I go live a lot. So like when I would go live or like I'd put out certain content and people would be like, oh, I just heard your song and this person's live and I just was at my cousin's house and I heard a car riding by playing, and I was like, dang, like it's really moving. The biggest realization though was like when I did that show in Providence, Rhode Island, because that was the first time that people in the crowd other than Steph, my fiance, knew my words.
Oh wow.
Because she's always there screaming, so she's holding it down, and everybody showed me love and stuff, but this was the first time that they were singing it back to me. And if you watch the clips, I'm just like this cheesing the whole time, because I'm like, yo, they know my words, like, and I should have known, because it had almost 1 million streams, so obviously people are listening. But to have them in the room singing it back to me, that was when I was like, nah, this is
How
we
was
doing
that
something.
feeling?
It's, you can't describe it.
Right.
I can't describe it. It's like,
And was that the first time?
that
Rhode
was
Island? That was the first time.
That was the first time.
Wow.
That was the first time. And then when we did the show in Allentown, PA, it was an even bigger crowd.
Okay.
And then when I watched the footage back, I'm like, when I'm in it, it was crazy. But when I watched the footage back and I looked at how many phones was out and I heard the audio, how many people was singing the song, I'm like, yo,
That's wild.
yeah,
That's an adrenaline right there.
yeah. It's like literally like you don't have to do drugs, you can just feel that.
Right.
Like it's really for me, it's like a high, like a supernatural high.
Right.
Like really, it's crazy.
Like, have you had your own particular show? Like just
That I
like,
set up?
on your own? Yeah.
Not yet, but I want to do one in New York because that's my biggest stream place. So I definitely got to set one up out here.
Okay.
For sure, but I haven't set one up myself. It's just promoters have been booking me in these areas, so that's where I've been going.
Right.
But I'm gonna set something up soon.
So New York is one of your markets.
Yeah, number one.
The number one?
Number one.
That's dope.
It's number one.
That's
yeah.
And you're from CT.
Yeah.
Everybody always think you're from New York.
Everybody, yeah, because my voice is deep,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
lingo. Everybody always
You got that swag, you understand?
Everybody be thinking that.
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like CT is like the cousin of New York.
We're
you
close.
understand?
We're
Like,
close.
Because you're close to the Bronx.
Yeah, we're close. Completely different lifestyle, but we're close.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
And originally, you was born in South Carolina.
Yeah, Columbia, South Carolina.
So how was, I mean, obviously you came out to CT at a young age.
Yes, 9.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then just been to CT. How's the music scene out there? I've done a few shows like twice out there in CT. For your experience, how's like the scene out there musically?
In Connecticut in general, it's a little bit divided because you got like Hartford and you got New Haven and you got Bridgeport, and I feel like within those places like people kind of like click up and do their thing. There's definitely some talent out there, like some dope producers, dope artists for sure. I'm not really part of the scene like that. Like
Okay.
I don't. It's kind of like I said. It's kind of broken up. So it's
Right.
not. It's there's a lot of talent out there.
Definitely. Knowing the fact that you are spiritual, I want to know, when did you start realizing how important it is to protect your energy? Especially with how fast you're growing.
Oh, okay. So when did I realize how important it was to protect my energy? The moment that I started protecting it. So like the moment that I started, like I got to a point in life where I just started kind of looking at things for like really what they were. Because sometimes when it comes to like family or like people super close to us, we kind of ignore the red flags because of we're blood or how long we knew each other and those kind of things. And so the moment that it kind of was with my family, when I had to start cutting certain family members off, I'm like, damn, if I got to do this with my family because it's affecting my energy, and the moment I would cut people off, it would be like a big breakthrough would happen. And to me, that was God speaking to me. And that's God like, listen, because one thing I notice about God is if you have the wrong person around you, that the blessings aren't meant for them, it's going to prolong the process, because he's going to make sure that this person can't be a part of this ride.
Right.
So when you have certain people around you all the time that are just, maybe wishing bad on you, or maybe there's jealousy there, I don't know what it is, but when I started realizing that you got to remove certain people, I started seeing, like I said, like things was just, I'm like, damn, and you start making a correlation like, damn, the moment I cut you, and I'm like, okay, so it's super important to protect your energy, and I feel like I learned that early on, maybe like, it's been like a couple years now.
Okay.
Couple years.
I know you said you have no issues, with family, but have you caught yourself recently where you're at now, where it's like, damn, I gotta let you go, knowing the fact that this was bad for my energy, bad for my soul?
Yeah, and it hurts, you know what I mean? Like, but it is what it is, and I don't like to look at it like people are bad people, like we'll cut people off like, yo man, that's a bad person. Nah, like we're just on two different spiritual walks right now, and you're in the space that you're in and I'm in the space that I'm in, and it's just we just not on the same frequency. Like maybe in the future, you know what I'm saying, like maybe not that I'm above you or you're below me or the other way around, but maybe it'll get to a point where we'll meet, but it's like it hurts, but like you gotta do what you gotta do. Like your energy is so important, and that's for everything.
Right.
Partners too. Like me and Stephanie, like we build each other up all the time,
which is beautiful.
Yeah. So it's like if we was in a situation where it was like toxic and we was tearing each other down, that wouldn't be able to work either. So it's with everybody, like parents, your partner, your cousins, like
right.
All of it matters. So,
what's a misconception people have of you? Look, like knowing the fact that where you came from, how far, like again, how rapidly you're growing and everything like that.
There's probably a couple, but I'd probably say like that my life was easy. Cause like
why?
Cause I smile so much. Like and it's not cause it's fake, it's real. But it's my perspective. Like I said to you earlier, like I always like I'll just be looking at things like through another lens. Like I could have stuff blowing up behind me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, I'm going to focus on this sunshine over here. So I think that because I'm so goofy and because I'm smiling all the time and my energy is always up, I think people just like don't understand. They have no idea.
They're probably looking at you like, why are you smiling so hard?
Maybe, yeah. They just have no idea. But I've been blessed to be able to smile through it all. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions. Like,
And I mean, this is part of your story, though, right? Like the fact of, like you again, nobody knows your story.
Right.
And I feel like everyone has a story.
Yeah.
There's so many obstacles, and knowing the fact that you're like, people have this misconception that you had it easy.
Yeah.
If you can, like, give me at least one challenging moment within your life, not only just as an artist, within your life where you was able to overcome, and it's taught you a lesson that to this day you carry with you.
Oh, it's been so many challenging lesson in my life. So not with the music, just in general.
Just in general, since you have a story, you've been through a lot. You know?
I'd probably say, and I don't want to sound cliche, but I'm gonna go back into perspective. Like, it's how you look at things, man. Like, cause like, all right, so when I made Rock the World, right, when you listen to the lyrics, it's like basically talking about like no matter what I've been through, I'm not gonna let that be an anchor. So it's like what I've learned is it's either you can take your trauma and the things you've been through in life and you can use it as an excuse to slack, or an excuse as to why you're not here or why you're not there, and just, you know, use it as a reason to be lazy. Or you can take what you've been through and you can use it as the building blocks to your character and use it for your story.
Right.
And I think that's the best way to do it. And that's why I made Rock the World, so that people can start. And it's been doing what I expected, because people are like, yo, you know what? You're right. Like, everything I've been through, like, it don't matter because I'm here now. And all that matters is the present moment.
Right.
So I feel like just being present and taking everything that I've been through and using it to inspire people and not being ashamed of it is probably the biggest lesson that I've learned.
That's what's up.
One of them.
You're very positive, and that's an amazing thing.
Not all the time.
I know that, but you're very positive for the most part. Like, you try to maintain positive, for what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard.
It hasn't always been that way. I used to be a complainer.
Did you?
Yeah. Like, I'm still working on it. Like, I used to complain all the time for everything.
What was that switch?
Really just seeing how much it was, like, affecting Stephanie. Like, I feel like it's not even that I was complaining about my past. It was like that I was complaining about everything.
Okay.
Like, yo, it's too hot in here. Like, everything was a complaint. Like, yo, I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have the money to do this. I don't have that. And I was making so many excuses for myself. And so when I realized was when I seen how much it was affecting her, it's like, yo, man, damn. Like, because she's so solution-based that, like, when you're a complainer, like, you can't be around her. Like,
Gotcha.
it's she's so solution based. Like, you can't complain about nothing because she's gonna have a solution. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and
right.
when you're a complainer, you don't want to hear that. So started getting to a point where it's like she just had a solution for every complaint I was throwing, and it was just like I felt like it was overbearing for her. So I'm like looking at that, and I'm like, damn, like I gotta stop complaining as much. And you know, I prayed on it, and I focused, and I started trying to be more like her and trying to be like, okay, cool, this is a problem, but what's a solution I can have, or like how can I look at this in a bright, like in a light, and not look at it as a bad thing. So that's definitely
dope.
that's definitely what made me try to stop complaining.
Let's keep it a stack though, because my wife is the same way, right? Like, very positive.
Yeah.
And I get it. I know what it is. I'm the complainer as well.
So you know the vibe.
Yeah. So I know when you just said, like, sometimes they don't want to hear that.
Yeah, they don't want to hear
And
it.
sometimes you don't want to hear, like,
You don't want to hear
that whole
solutions.
giddy like
Facts.
like, understand my pain.
Yeah.
People don't realize, like, everything if you look at, so, and it's sad because not everything is about social media, but when you look at people, there's a lot of perceptions. You know, people are smiling, you know, happy couples, but then in real life, it'd be just very different, you know. And again, you're very transparent. You and your wife are very transparent. You know, you have your brands together and separately, you know. And the fact that you can recognize and grow from your lessons, not only to grow better for yourself, but grow to be a better wife, you know, for her as well, is an amazing thing. Thanks. You know, that's super dope. And I think that's why you you're constantly growing and elevating to this person who you are. And not only that, you're inspiring so many people. So continue having that mindset, continue growing, and continue pushing others as well, because a lot of people want to see that change. It's like, unfortunately, we live somewhat in a negative world, in a sense, you know, like you turn on the news, you turn on the TV, whatever, and it's constant negativity.
Yeah.
The fact that you're doing the opposite, you know, and you're going to have your moments. You're a human being.
Of course.
But the fact that you're still promoting and pushing the positivity, you have God within you, and you're just staying grounded. Again, it's not easy, but you're doing it. So shout out to you with that.
Thank you.
Shout out to you with that. That's dope.
Thank you.
Lastly, I want to know, when was the last time you did something for the first time?
The last time I did something for the first time.
Yeah.
That's such a good question. Damn.
Thank you.
All right. When was the last time that I did something for the first time? I'm trying not to be boring. Let me think.
And it could be anything. Because people, I've heard crazy stories. I'm going to drink some right here while you think about this.
All right. Last
Take
time I
your
did
time,
something
not
for the
rushing.
first time.
Shout out to Bumble. We in the building. Shout out to Bel Air.
All right, I'm gonna just do it because it's the only thing I think. I guess make a song like Rock the World.
Okay.
That's the last time I did something for the first time. Cause like we said, there's mileage, but like being completely like selfless with the music like that.
Okay.
Like that was the last time I did something for the first time, and it's so dope.
It is dope.
Yeah, I tried to think of something fun like skydiving or something like that, but I ain't.
And
Nothing
that's
came
all
up.
good. I mean, listen, Rock the World, super dope. Those that are watching, obviously you gotta, like purchase it, stream it, whatever, like
Run that up.
show that, run it up. Like at the end of the day, it is a dope track. I was the way you're pushing it, I would say continue pushing it and show, like again, it's a positive song, so. And I love the fact that, obviously it was, you came out of your comfort zone with it.
Yeah.
It's dope because it's, like not, like it shows that other side of your creativity, like how you can do. Let me ask you this before anything. You've written for other people?
No.
You wouldn't be interested in that?
I probably would. It'd have to be like, I would. I feel like I would, but it's just the numbers got to be right, and it's like the credit got to be there, and it just got to the business part of it has to be handled correctly. And I would like to, if I did it, I would like to like maybe link with the artist and make the song for them. I wouldn't like for it to be something that I made that I love, and people's like, oh, we need that for this artist, because that's you know what I'm saying. When I make something for me, it's for me. But I got a couple throwaways and stuff like that I know I'm probably never gonna release, and I was thinking, I'm like, yo, somebody could crush this. it just don't fit me no more.
Right.
But I'm not completely opposed to it.
I would say look into it.
I'm not opposed to it.
The only reason why I say that is look here how oh my God, Neil started as a writer.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Carrie Hilson, she was a writer. Like
she was a writer.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
She was. That's how she
Carrie
got.
Hilson is
She
dope.
was. Yeah, she was writing for mad people. Then you have Matt
There's
Dream,
mad
like
writers.
like Matt, like there was mad
50
writers.
Cent was writing
So
for
that's
people.
what I'm saying. So like sometimes like Neo started writing for mad people, and that's how he got his foot in the door, and then eventually he dropped his album. So like I would just say, because you have dope tracks. I'm big on when it comes to like the structure of it, and I'm big on the voice. You have the voice, obviously you have the image. Like it's just you got to continue pushing, but because you're getting to that place of being selfless and showing people like, yo, this is deeper than me. I would say also look into the writing.
Yeah.
Because I can see that working well for you as well, and that's another bag.
Yeah. As long as they could convey the emotion and it's fire, then we could do it.
You could do reference tracks. That's what Biggie used to do for Lil' Kim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he'll record it, and then like how he wanted her to say it, and then that's how she came out with her delivery and everything. For the most part, at the beginning, you can always do something like that, but it's deeper in this game. But definitely, I just want to say thank you for everything, like for being here, for talking with us, chopping it up. For those that are watching, where can they find you? All that good stuff.
Hey, thank you for having me. And and if you're watching this, you can find me everywhere at NovaBigSteppa. NovaBigSteppa. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I go live a lot on TikTok, so come pop in my live. Come say what's up. Shout outs to the Steppa family, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all know the vibes. You can find me on YouTube. Everywhere is NovaBigSteppa. It's not 3 words, 1 word. NovaBigSteppa. And like she was saying, man, y'all purchase the music, because people don't understand the importance of spending that 99 cent. Because a lot of people are like, yo, I can stream the music for free, and that's fine. We love that too. But if you got the 99 cent, purchase that thing. Rock the World, streaming everywhere right now. If you want a tough time, you need that song. Go run that up.
Right, that's a fact.
Yeah,
run it up,
man,
bro.
Run
it
up.
up.
Yeah,
that's a definite fact. There's only 99 cents. Come on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
If people spend more money on other stuff. But listen, guys, there's no reason why you shouldn't be following her or hitting, clicking on her music and everything like that, because it will be in the description box below. What you got to do is click on it. You understand, yo? So y'all already know the vibes, man. It's your girl V-Henny, the Artistry, and we out. Rock out with your cocks out, jam out with your clam out. Wow.
Yo, that was dope. That was